It was 3:12 in the morning. Evelyn stood in the bathroom doorway, barefoot on cold tile, the low hum of the fridge echoing faintly down the hall. She didn't turn on the light. Just enough moonlight filtered through the curtained window to see where she was going. Her hands rested on the edge of the sink, steadying herself. Not dizzy, not fully awake either. But enough to feel the ache in her knees. Enough to know she'd been here before, again and again. And she wondered, not for the first time, why her body kept waking her up at this hour. Every night, like clockwork. She didn't drink too much water before bed. She tried those little tips from her neighbor, feed up at 8 p.m., stop tea after dinner. Nothing changed. And in those moments, in the quiet hush of early morning when the world still feels folded in sleep, Evelyn didn't just feel tired. She felt confused, irritated, and if she was honest, a little scared. What if this was just how her nights would be now? Interrupted, fragmented, always watching the clock, always waiting for the next trip down the hall. If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. There's a reason this keeps happening, and it's not your fault. In fact, for many of us after 60, something very real inside the body changes. And once you understand it, once you know what's really behind these 3 a.m. wake-up calls, there's something you can actually do about it. Something gentle, natural, and effective. So if you found yourself padding across the hallway in the dark, wondering what's going wrong, stay with me. This episode is for you. And if this speaks to something quiet in you, feel free to subscribe or share this space with someone who might need it too. Let's get real. After 60, your bladder changes. Not a little, a lot. What used to hold all night without a second thought now wakes you up at 2:47 and again at 4:12, like it has its own agenda. It's not just aging, it's anatomy. Your bladder becomes less elastic. The muscles that squeeze it, called the detrusor muscles, don't fire the way they used to. And sometimes they misfire. They think there's urgency when there isn't, like a car alarm that keeps going off in a quiet driveway. This condition has a name, nocturia, and it affects nearly 70% of adults over 60, according to the National Institute on Aging. But most people don't talk about it. They think it's just part of getting old. It is common, but it's not random. Here's what's really happening. Your bladder is overreacting, not maliciously, not because it hates you, but because it's tired. And tired organs behave just like tired people. They interrupt, they overreact, and they ask for attention in the wrong ways. So what can you do? Start with something so simple it's often skipped. Bladder training. Pick 2 times during the day when you usually go to the bathroom and delay them by just 15 minutes. That's it. Over time, you retrain the bladder to tolerate longer stretches without sending emergency signals. Pair that with a daily abdominal massage, circular motions around the lower belly, clockwise for 5 minutes before bed. According to a 2020 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Urology, this increases blood flow to the pelvic rig region and reduces nighttime urgency by up to 30%. And perhaps more importantly, it reconnects you to a part of yourself you may have tuned out. Your body isn't the enemy. It's just overwhelmed. Retraining it isn't punishment. It's care. It's saying, you're safe. You don't need to shout to be heard. This might surprise you, but the reason you're waking up to pee at 3 a.m. might not be your bladder. It might be your morning pills. See, certain medications commonly prescribed after 60, especially for blood pressure or heart health, come with a quiet side effect. They tell your kidneys to work overtime. They make you release water. Not a problem unless the timing is off. Diuretics, sometimes called water pills, are one of the most common examples. Their purpose is good, to ease pressure on your heart and vessels. But for some people, especially when taken in the late afternoon or evening, these medications can keep kidneys awake well into the night. And your bladder, it pays the price. Now, let's be absolutely clear. This isn't about stopping your meds or changing your schedule without guidance. Never do that on your own. But what you can do is start noticing patterns. Ask yourself, what time are you taking your medications? Does your nighttime urgency happen on days when pills are taken later? Have you recently changed a prescription? You don't have to solve the mystery alone. Your doctor or pharmacist can help. Often, just shifting a medication from evening to morning, if safe and approved, can change everything. But first, you have to speak up. So many older adults don't mention nighttime urination during checkups. They think it's embarrassing or unrelated, but it's not. It's connected. And your care team can't help unless they know what your nights are really like. You deserve rest. You deserve care that fits your body, not just your lab results. So write it down. Bring it up. Ask the quiet questions. It might just be the missing piece. Not because you're broken, but because your body, like you, is complex. And it's okay to ask for something that helps you rest again. You wake up, you feel the urge. It's not strong, but it's enough to get you out of bed. And what's the first thing you do? You flip on the bathroom light. That single action, that one bright burst into your eyes, might be the very thing keeping you awake long after you've returned to bed. Here's why. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less melatonin, the hormone responsible for helping us fall asleep and stay asleep. According to research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, melatonin production can drop by more than 50% after the age of 60. This isn't just about sleep quality, it's about light sensitivity. Even small amounts of light, especially blue and white light, can completely suppress melatonin in older adults. That means even a 60-second trip to the bathroom under harsh lighting can send a signal to your brain. It's morning now. Wake up. And that gentle rest your body was slipping back into? Gone. So what can you do? First, change the light. Swap out your bright bathroom bulb for a dim red or amber nightlight, something that gives you just enough light to move safely without triggering your brain into full alert mode. Better yet, consider using motion sensor plug-in lights along your hallway or under your bed frame. No harsh overhead glare, just a soft glow that respects your body's rhythm. Second, protect your evenings. Turn off all overhead lighting after 8 p.m. Use lamps, use warm-colored bulbs. Lower the brightness on your TV and avoid looking at your phone in bed, even for just a minute. A 2021 study from Harvard Medical School found that seniors who used low-light environments for 2 hours before bed reduced nighttime awakenings by over 40%. That's not small. Sometimes healing your nights isn't about doing more. It's about removing what interrupts the sleep your body is still trying to give you. So tonight, when you feel that urge, go slowly. Keep the light low. Let your body stay close to sleep, because you don't need to wake fully just to pee. You only need enough to return to the bed, to the dark, to rest. Sometimes it's not your bladder that's waking you up at 3 a.m. It's your blood sugar. After 60, the body's ability to regulate glucose during the night declines. According to a 2019 study in the Journals of Gerontology, older adults are more prone to nighttime hypoglycemia, a drop in blood sugar, even without diabetes. And here's how that connects to your nightly trips to the bathroom. When blood sugar dips too low during sleep, the body responds with a spike in adrenaline and cortisol. These stress hormones jolt you awake. And once you're up, the slightest pressure in your bladder is enough to send you walking. It's not that you were too full. It's that your body got startled and your bladder followed. So what can help? Try adding a complex, carb-based bedtime snack, not cookies or candy, but a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter, or a small bowl of unsweetened oatmeal with chia seeds. These help stabilize glucose through the night, avoiding the hormonal alarms that trigger wake-ups. You can also speak with your doctor about your fasting glucose patterns, especially if you're on medications that affect insulin or sugar balance. This isn't about more food, it's about the right fuel at the right time to let your body sleep. You don't have to be diabetic to have sugar imbalances, and you don't have to live with 3 a.m. spikes. Sometimes peace looks like a spoonful of something gentle before bed. Most people think sleep is just about the mind, but sleep, especially deep, undisturbed sleep, is also about temperature. In order to enter restful sleep, the body needs to cool down. That drop in core temperature tells the brain it's time to release melatonin, it's time to let go. But after 60, thermoregulation becomes harder. Hormonal changes, reduced circulation, and even thinner skin all affect how your body manages heat, and that can disrupt your sleep cycle, even if the room feels fine. The bladder is highly sensitive to these temperature changes. Even a 1-degree rise in body heat can cause bladder contractions, especially during REM stages when the nervous system is already active. So if you're waking up hot or sweating lightly and then feel the urge to pee, that's the link. Here's what you can do. Keep your room between 60 to 67 degrees Celsius, 16 to 19 degrees Celsius, which is optimal for sleep. Use breathable cotton sheets instead of synthetic fibers. Avoid heavy blankets unless it's winter, and layer with light materials. Avoid alcohol after 7 p.m. It causes your body to overheat as it processes. You can also try a warm foot soak before bed. Ironically, warming the feet helps draw heat away from the core, allowing your body to cool more efficiently and prepare for deeper rest. Sometimes the best way to stop waking up is to let your body cool off first. You may not feel anxious, not in the way people talk about on TV. You may not be pacing the floor or wringing your hands, but your body remembers things, even when your mind has gone quiet. That tightening in your chest as you lie down, the shallow breathing that slips in without asking, the thoughts that circle like moths around an old porch light. They don't always announce themselves, but they leave footprints. And one of the first places they show up is your bladder. What many people don't know is that the bladder is deeply connected to the autonomic nervous system, especially the sympathetic branch, which governs the fight or flight response. When the body perceives a threat, even a silent, emotional one, it signals the bladder to contract, to empty, to prepare for danger. Except there is no danger. Not really. Just a mind that hasn't found rest, and a body trying to protect you from something it can't name. According to research from the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry, nighttime anxiety and elevated cortisol levels in older adults are directly linked to nocturia, waking up to urinate. Not because the bladder is full, but because the body is on alert. And here's the tender part. Many older adults carry invisible anxieties they never name. Regret, Loneliness, the fear of being forgotten, worries about children who no longer call, memories of partners who once snored beside them. They may not be loud, but they weigh something. If this feels familiar, try this. About 30 minutes before bed, turn off all overhead lighting. Sit in a chair with both feet flat on the floor. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly. Inhale gently through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for 1 second. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Repeat this 5 times. This activates your vagus nerve, the calming highway of the body. It tells the bladder and the mind, you're safe, you're not in danger, you can rest now. This isn't about fixing your anxiety. It's about recognizing that your body is responding, not misbehaving. It's trying to help you. It's doing its best with what it knows. And maybe the most healing thing you can do tonight is to thank it, not for being perfect, but for still trying. Maybe you've never said it out loud, but there's a moment sometime after midnight when you lie back in bed after that short walk to the bathroom and you wonder if you'll fall back asleep. Or if this is just how it goes now, not quite rested, not quite awake, somewhere in between. There's something strange about those hours. They hold things daytime doesn't. The questions you don't ask, the memories that come back sharper than they should. The ache, not just in the body, but in the heart. So let's pause here. What does your body wish it could say to you if you listened? What would it mean to believe that these wake-ups aren't failures, but signals? Maybe they're not asking for frustration. Maybe they're asking for softness. Maybe there's something in your nightly rhythm that deserves more compassion than correction. Tonight, before you go to sleep, sit for a moment in the quiet. Place a hand on your chest, breathe slowly, and ask, what part of me is still waiting to rest? That's where healing begins. If you've made it this far, through the quiet hours, the science, the stories, maybe something in you is still listening, still hoping, still healing. That's not small. Too often, we're told these little things don't matter, that waking up to pee is just part of getting old, that we should stop complaining, stop noticing, stop expecting ease. But here in this space, we don't believe that. We believe your body is still wise. We believe your nights deserve peace. We believe it's okay to want rest that feels whole again. So if this gave you something, a little understanding, a bit of calm, maybe even a new habit to try tonight, you're welcome to stay with us. You can subscribe. You can share this with someone who's also quietly tired. You can leave a thought below, not for attention, but connection. Because even in the quiet, we're not alone. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you wake at 3 a.m., it won't feel like defeat. It'll feel like a gentle nudge from a body that's still trying to heal. And you'll know what to do. Thank you for being here. Sleep well tonight.